I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Down, AT Gator. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Watch the safety creep. Go.
Off play action. Holland. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
To throw on third down. Holland. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Off the play fake. Holland. Flush to his right. He'll run it. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's going to fire this thing deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That one goes for 30 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point put through by Boswell. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bang, bang.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here we go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
A check on the numbers last week for Connor. 17 carries, 85 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Holly. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They still playing 61, matchbox lights. Hey, Charlie. Ready?
Looking to throw. Holly. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Danielle Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work out a little bit more.
Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On 3rd down, Holly. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
He got 29 yards that time. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Back to throw. Holly. Flush. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Holly. Open man is QT. Complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hey, Haywood! Go.
Back to throw. Holly. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
High 7. Get ready.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Holly. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, it's again to Cook. Only a couple there, as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 42 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Rosen, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Go! Five!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Holland got an open man. It's Washington. And he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Rosen. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. T.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Looking to throw. Holly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Rosen. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chris Conley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on second down. Holly. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Get that ball back.
Throwing on first down. Holly. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Throwing again. Holly. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hey, wahoo! Fight!
Operating from the gun. Holly. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Foxtrot.
Looking to throw on second down. Holly toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. But now it's third and goal. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? Third and goal. They'll look to run with Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner in the final seconds of the first half, as his guys are back within a single score. Boswell good with the extra point.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. He'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. So we hit. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On first down, it's Cook. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From midfield now on second down. Rosen. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Rosen will throw, and this one hauled in by Rudolph.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On third down, Rosen. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered now.
Ready?
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete.
We got this.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Kiki QT, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point put through by Boswell.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've...
And he's into the clear. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Let's go.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Recon, 132 fighter. Let's go.
Staying on the ground with Samuels. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
65.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
They're going to try and throw, but it's brought in by Washington. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Quick dash, quick dash. Come.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike 50.
To throw again. Pollard. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Down to 60 Pittsburgh.
Man, let's get some penetration here.
Back to throw. Holly. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Kiki QT with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will tie our game here in the third. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
And those gloves. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They'll start out here with the option left, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
2nd and 13. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Holly. They'll get this one to Switzer. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. It's been a long day for you.
Check, go.
From the gun, Holly. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line.
X3, 218, chop.
Kill.
Ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. Operating from the gun, Holly. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And they will take a 7-point lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They want to go to the air again with Rosen. And able to find Conley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Conley. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with an extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Hey, Echo.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Holly, that went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Looking to throw. Holly. And he finds McDonald. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Holly. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. They run it again with Cook. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They start the drive with Connor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hey, high 7. 2.
From the gun, Holly. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Bravo.
Operating from the gun, Holly. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here you go. 10-2 stop.
We want this.
Go.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All right, D. Let's. All right, D. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Smooth.
Check curls. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Complete to Washington. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington in the final minute. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control. but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
So Josh Rosen in the offense. Down by 7. A little over 50 seconds remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Back to throw. He's got the hook up with Conley. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Ready?
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check.
Bud.
Watch the run. They're running it. Mike, 54.
On first and 10, Holly over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Steelers have won the game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Pittsburgh, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they suffered just their second loss as they drop to 8-2 now on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
dash.